Hi to all you fellow Facebookers, live here from Davos, all the way up in the end of the world in the mountains in Switzerland, and here in the Facebook house. So they've built a whole house up just for this week, and it looks better than my house at home, so pretty impressive stuff. And I'm here now with Chris, Communications Director, Europe and Middle East and Africa for Facebook, so it's a great pleasure to be here, of course, and I look forward to your super tough questions.
Well, let's get going then, Nico. Thanks for coming by the Facebook Live studio. It's great to have you here. We've had a lot of interesting people through this week, but we have not had any world champions, so it's good to have you here. So start off by telling us why you've come to Davos. I mean, it's an odd place to find a Formula One world champion. Yeah,
I'll be honest with you, and I didn't really know much about Davos. You know, I knew that it was okay. The world leaders came here to discuss and things like that, but I didn't really know the details. And so I got the request to come to speak about mental performance because there's a lot of business leaders here.
Yeah.
But you know, mental performance, which applies also to business, but we can bring a bit of a different angle to it. You know, it's all very similar, but just a small different viewpoint because it's mental performance in sports. And so I was invited to come along, and go ahead.
So you had a panel, right? That was all on mental performance that you held. Who was on the panel? Where did you do it?
So it was a special location because usually everything happens here in town, in the village, and we had our panel up at the peak on the mountain.
Wow.
In this little cabana up there with the most spectacular view. And at first I was like, oh, is anybody even going to come all the way up here?
Yeah.
You know, it takes ages to get up there. But we had full house, so it was really it was very exciting and you know, just so many interesting people to you know, connect with, have a discussion. There's so much stuff that comes up, and I was on the panel with Mika Häkkinen, who's another Formula One world champion from 20 years ago, and actually my childhood you know, idol in a way, where I was standing in front of the TV, you know, nervous because I wanted him to win and beat Schumacher. So to be on the panel with him was quite an honor also for me. And yeah, we were a good team, and I think we had a good talk.
Because it must be hard for you guys. I mean, being very young when you're put into a very stressful situation with a massive team of people around you. Presumably, that kind of mental agility is the sort of thing you want to discuss with some of the leaders of big companies and help them understand it from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not here saying that I can, you know, I'm better than all the other business, whatever. But yeah, it's cool to share an insight into some of the stuff that we were doing. And Formula One, you know, it's really the peak of sports. It's the highest level of racing, of racing four-wheel cars anyways. And, well, yeah, obviously a car's going to be four-wheel, isn't it? Tends to be, huh?
Yeah, definitely. But not for you anymore. Like, you retired and you did that quite suddenly off the back of a massive World Championship victory.
Yeah.
Did you get questions on that while you were in Davos? Because that's surprising. The leaders here want to keep leading forever, and you stopped at the moment you just made it.
Yeah, so that's almost bigger than winning the championship. It seems to me from what people are asking me and everything, you know. And so I didn't really, you know, have that in mind. What other people are going to think about me deciding to stop driving around in circles. You know, I just followed my heart really, and it was very much connected to just winning the championship, you know, because that's achieving my mission, you know, in racing, my goal. Since 21 years that I'm racing now, since I'm 10 years old, and you know, it's all the time. It's become Formula One world champion once, not 5 times, once, and tick the box, you know, done it. And I just feel completely fulfilled now in terms of my career, and it feels great to go out on top. You know, it's just a nice feeling. I'll forever cherish that my last season was the best that I could achieve, I think, in this lifetime. And my best race was my last race. So awesome.
So where do you go from here? I mean, you've obviously still got a role with Mercedes as an ambassador. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that's the easy, straightforward sort of direction that I'll continue on being involved in the sport, being an ambassador for Mercedes, for example, for the race team. But I definitely want to go and explore other areas as well. And this Davos week actually has been phenomenal because there's no other place in the world or no other event in the world where you meet so many interesting and influential people in one spot. It's been mind-blowing for me. I mean, just walking on the street every 5 minutes, it's another meeting with someone, and another massive door opens or opportunity comes about. Just 5 minutes of chatting, you know.
It's incredible,
it's
isn't it?
Unreal.
So we got some questions from the feed. Paul Hansen is asking, are you actually going to be part of the Mercedes team in some way? Not just an ambassador, but you're going to be giving advice to the people who succeeded you.
At the moment, it's still early days. It's all not happened long ago. So I'm just going to continue supporting them a little bit with their partners, with their sponsors, to stay on board. And for the rest, let's see where it goes. But for sure, I'll stay close to the sport because I'm a massive fan of our sport, and I will be watching, following. I want to go to the races and see, who's going to be on top this year. I'm sure Mercedes can do a fantastic job again because it's a phenomenal company with phenomenal leaders.
And what about the two drivers? Do you think they can do it?
Well, Lewis I know very well, of course, and I can tell you he's pretty good. Yeah. And now Valtteri Bottas has filled in my seat, and he's an upcoming driver, and for sure I'm sure he'll do a really good job as well. It's not going to be easy jumping into that situation with Lewis being so established also in the team and driving at such an awesome level. So it'll be a challenge, and I'll be following it with interest, as I'm sure a lot of you as well will be.
And what about the sort of future of Formula One? Because it's evolving, it's changing all the time, not just in its ownership, but also in the way the races are constructed. Do you think it's still got the mass appeal it had, say, when you were growing up and watching it?
Well, we can see on the audience figures, that it's still an unbelievably big sport, and that's the way it should be, and it's cool. Nevertheless, there's still things that can be improved, as everywhere. And I think it's good now. There's a change in leadership coming in. Yeah, the old leaders did a great job, Bernie Ecclestone. Yeah. But I think it's good that a new owners have come in now, Americans, Liberty Media. Yeah. And I really think that they can put some spice into it, and bring some changes. And maybe even Americanize it slightly with all those, because they're good at show business over there, So, and I think we might need a bit more of that. So I'm looking forward to some ideas that are going to come through and see, and I'm sure they're going to make a difference. If you have any more questions, keep them coming through. Yeah,
so we've got one from Nicholas Gonzalez, who's obviously thought you're at Davos, you're talking to lots of businesses. What sectors of business are you particularly interested in? Are there sectors you want to get involved in, especially?
I mean, the basic ones are, of course, there's doing good, which is something that I'm going to explore now, because now I have time on my hands, and I want to get into that and find some things that touch my heart. That's what counts for me in that.
And what kind of stuff does touch your heart?
Well, I'm in the exploration. Of course, I already have a lot of things that I do find touching, but I'm going to explore, see where the trip takes me. Then renewable energies I think is cool. We have all this electric car stuff coming up now, and that whole direction I think is going to be very interesting. And then let's see what other anything goes.
Presumably, a question from Sonia, who's saying you get some time to hang out with your daughter and wife. Is that a benefit of Formula One retirement?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Because doing sport at the highest level, it's 100% commitment, and everything else is secondary. And that's family, friends, and so definitely that is also a part of my decision to turn the chapter now. And go a new direction, and just be in control of my own life now. It's not other people telling me, okay, you need to go there, and the whole season is planned. Now I can
You've
decide.
Got control back.
Full control over my time. I'm here because I want to be here. And that's a good feeling. And that definitely, therefore, I'll also have a bit more time for family, for friends, and those are some of the best things in life. So there's a time for everything. It's been awesome time in racing, and now I look forward to the next step.
Sounds like you've got a good year ahead. Going back to Formula One, Adam Beale has asked, have you seen the 2017 car? And without giving anything away, what do you think of it?
So I have seen it, yes, because they start planning ahead so long in advance. So the 17 car, they started way back in the beginning of 2000, 1 year ago almost. Yeah. And so by the time the end of the season came November, there's also that ready car being in the wind tunnel on a small scale model. Yeah. So I've seen exactly how it is. I know all the details and everything, and it's looking impressive, definitely. For the eye, it's looking great. Yeah. It's going to be enjoyable for them to drive, I think, because it's just going to be faster. And as drivers, you want to go faster and faster. And yeah, let's hope it makes it will shuffle things up, because every team has to start from scratch. It's not an evolution, it's a revolution. So every team starts from zero, a blank sheet of paper, to build this new car. So it will be exciting to see who's fastest.
So here's a weird question from Romerick, is that would you race vintage race cars?
Definitely not. No,
Because they're not safe. They're not fast
because
enough.
of the risk. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
I mean, you know, I followed even my dad's time now in 1980s.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just it's pretty intense. I mean, and the risks they were taking back then. No, I mean, I love driving old cars. I'm a big fan of classic cars. I like cruising in them, taking my wife along, and that's big fun. But racing them, no.
Not racing.
No.
Sounds very sensible. What about, I'm guessing the answer is Mercedes, but what is your favourite road-going car?
It's my classic Mercedes from 1970s. It's a Pagoda, 280 SL. Put the roof down, you know, cruise along the...
What colour?
Light blue, horizon blue. Yeah.
And what about the interior spec?
Dark blue. So no, it's really cool, yeah. And I enjoy that so much because it's a driving experience. Nowadays with the cars, you need to go like 250 kilometers an hour, which you can't do in most places, but you can on the German Autobahn. And that's when you start to feel something, you know, because they're just so unbelievably stable and everything. And with the old cars, you go 80, and you feel everything's moving and the gear shifting, and it's a cool experience.
So what's your view on sort of driverless cars? I mean, it's been a big conversation here at Davos around the way that's evolving, the technology that's going to drive it. Presumably as a driver, that's not something you're particularly keen on.
No, I would actually be keen on that because I spend a lot of time in cars as well, and I often like to be to be driven, so being in a taxi or something, because then I can relax in the back and even maybe do some work or something like that. So I would be up for driverless cars, not only because I want to drive my car myself sometimes as well, but to have that option is cool. However, to get the trust into that driverless car, that is going to be the big stepping stone, I think, because I mean, there can be a horse jumping out of the whatever over the road and into the motorway. You know?
Need to know it's safe.
And how on earth, you know, can a car eventually react to anything that comes as well as I can? Well, because of course through my racing, I'm pretty good at reacting now. So to get that trust that this driverless car is going to react as quick as I can myself. That's going to be a big
Maybe
one.
you should program it so it's as fast as you.
No.
Benjamin is asking us to go back to the Abu Dhabi race and that last lap and what was going through your mind.
Here we go. It's one of the most intense experiences I've had in my life because it was touch and go with the championship. You know, it's really 21 years that I've been, you know, going towards and fighting for getting this Formula One World Championship. And in my mind, really, even on that last lap, I must have lost it like 2 times, the championship, because, you know, thinking, oh damn, you know, because it was Lewis in front and he was playing his games of trying to block me and slow me down so that the others from behind are going to come by me. And if they do, then I lose the championship. And I just didn't know how far he was going to take it. Is he going to go completely out of control and just try and take us out or whatever? Everything was possible, you know. It's really you know, fighting for the world championship, and no idea. So until the last corner, I just didn't know. I did not know, and so it was really only coming out of the last corner where I was like, okay, this is actually happening.
The feeling as you cross the line,
and the feeling, unreal. I mean, first it was relief actually because it was so intense. So the first feeling was just this intensity going away. And relief that it was done, and then the joy came a few minutes later down the road. And I'm sure you're going to ask also what do I think? Do I think Lewis did bad or did he do okay? I think it's very easy from a team perspective. He did wrong. From his personal perspective, it's understandable because we're fighting for the world championship, and you're going to try something. You know? So I think we can just leave it at that, and no point to discuss that.
Have you been in touch since?
Yeah, we have actually, and who knows? Maybe one day we can. Be on easy terms again. Why not?
It's a difficult competitive environment. So at Davos, we've seen quite a few actors around. I don't know if you saw George Clooney was here, Matt Damon was here. So Reich Schmidt is asking, have you got an interest in show business and acting?
I'm very open-minded at the moment, and I do know several quite good actors, and I'm not gonna say no.
Right.
So let's see. I doubt that I have the acting skill, but I like to challenge myself. So let's see.
Okay, let's go back to racing. Dylan's asking the most enjoyable non-Mercedes race of your career.
Oh, that's a difficult one. So long ago, you know, I was with Mercedes for 7 years. And okay, let's go back to Williams, and I would say it's my first race. My first race, Williams, 2006. I was 20 years old.
Where was it?
And it was in Bahrain. and it was one of my best races in my career, actually. And yeah, it was just, and I was in this zone, you know, and to be in the zone in the first race was a great feeling. Coming through from last all the way to 7th, scoring points, passing everybody, being the fastest of everybody in that race. That was cool.
And Bahrain was a new circuit. It was added.
Yeah, it was new. Yeah.
What other places in the world would you like to see an F1 race held? Are there cities or
Las Vegas parking lot? That's where my dad won the championship. And come on, that must be the ultimate. Las Vegas, right in the city, or even if you want to do a purpose-built track, whatever.
Up and down the strip.
But Vegas, then I might have to do a comeback just for that race. No, I'm just kidding.
And do you have a favourite track that you particularly have fond memories of?
Favorite has got to be Monaco. Monaco, it's my hometown, and it's the most challenging race, most spectacular, the biggest, the most ambience, you know, and yeah, I was fortunate enough to have been able to win that 3 times in a row. So that was also some really special moments for me in my career, and also one of those boxes I had to tick, winning Monaco. Yeah. That's something you got to have for me.
Okay, we got the last question, and it's really important, isn't it? Young people coming into the sport. What advice would you give young drivers that are trying to get into the sport and the struggles that they have to get through?
Of course, you need a lot of luck also to get all the way through. But yeah, I would say keep fighting and really go for it with discipline and courage. And then if you deserve it, if you have the skill and everything, then most of the time you'll find people who want to be. You want to support you, you know, and they'll help you rise to the top. So yeah, you need to just push hard,
stick at
it, and then good things can happen. Is that it now?
That's it. It's great to have you here at Facebook Pop-Up.
Thanks a lot for tuning in. Very cool, and see you soon somewhere else next time around.
Thanks very much.